that? I have a story of how so let me tell this story. It might take a second, but so at 29, I was doing, I think, the Friends and Family tour. Mm-hmm. And I think I had maybe just turned 29, something like that. And I was having all these thoughts about life. When my mom was alive, she told me 30 did the same thing that happened to her. She was like, man, it was a really weird time because you're leaving your 20s. And so she was like, nah, Andy, that's normal. To feel this fear of the next stage of life. But I had all these existential thoughts. I was having these moments where I was going, not only are we here for a blip of time, but in a lot of ways, it almost doesn't even matter. And so that can sound messed up unless I explain it, but I'm like, all right, I use this example. I said, there's a TV hanging up right here. Who invented the television? Do any of y'all know?
Bob Television. Yeah. From this brother said Bob.
Nobody in here, even the producers, nobody knows.
Television, anybody?
Listen, nobody in this room.
Sam
Song.
It's not bad, actually. It's not bad.
That's a good one.
This man is crazy.
Here's the crazy piece, right? Nobody in this room knows who invented the television, but we have one every single place that we go. We got air conditioning going on in here. Nobody knows who that guy is. There's a refrigerator over there. There's these lights. There's all these things that we get to benefit from in this world right now. And we have no idea even who these people were, but they made monumental contributions to the world.
Yeah.
And now they're already forgotten.
Already gone.
And so what makes me think that I won't be forgotten just like everybody else? Mm-hmm. And I referenced the Beatles in that record. I said, remember the time the Beatles said they're more famous than Jesus?
Yeah.
I think it's funny because some people didn't know who Paul McCartney was till he made his song with Yeezus, but millions still gather on Sunday. I saw comments when Kanye dropped that record, 4, 5 seconds, right? Yep. And people were like, who's this Paul McCartney guy?
Who is he?
He's about to blow up now that he's doing a record with Kanye. Yeah. And I'm like, isn't this funny? Just 40 years ago, 50 years ago, this guy was the biggest thing in the world. And now some people have no idea who he is.
No clue, bruh.
So that all of a sudden made me feel like, dang, my life will definitely be forgotten in some way. Yeah. And that was terrifying and freeing at the same time. It's this weird combination of those things. So I remember just walking through a park. I went out for a walk and I actually had to call BJ. BJ's one of my mentors. We're gonna have him in there. And I was just like, bro, I'm terrified. I'm walking through this park and I'm seeing this old woman walk with a dog. I'm seeing these little kids play baseball. I'm seeing these old men and women sitting and I'm like, every single person in this park is going to die. But this park will still be here. And it was here before me and it's gonna be here after me. And time is this thing that just keeps going with or without you. And it was like this, maybe it just sounds normal. Everyone's
It was
gonna
a
die.
realization that the world does not revolve around you.
Whoa.
In a way. But it's a realization, and that's close though.
Of the brevity of life. And here's what happened. When I thought every single one of these people is gonna die,
bro,
including myself, all of a sudden I was having this crazy moment where I was like, why do we fight each other? Mm-hmm. Why are we mean to each other? Why do we try to one-up each other? Why do we try to steal? I'm like, we're all heading to death. Why don't we just love each other on the way there? Or care for each other? It's like, hey man, you're heading to the grave just like me. Mm-hmm. We might as well enjoy each other or help each other on the way there. Or you can take a fatalistic view, we're all gonna die and doesn't matter. I
don't care.
Yeah. So it was just this crazy moment. And so I started reading Ecclesiastes. And the craziest part of it, of reading Ecclesiastes, was this dude's, Solomon, was having the same exact experiences. As you read the passages, he's saying almost the exact same things that I was feeling. I was like, this man knows. Yes. He's been there. And he said, I had the baddest women. I had the best food. I had the best clothes. Solomon was known as the richest man in the world, the wisest man in the world, and he was saying the same thing. It's all a vapor.
Yeah, bro.
It's all vanishing, even when you have the greatest of the great. And it was this sobering moment about life. And I remember I was sitting at this concert. I took my wife out to see a J-Lo concert. Shout out Jenny from the block. And we were sitting before the show started, right? And I'm sitting in the crowd, and there's like 8,000 people sitting around. We're in Vegas. And the show's not started yet, but everyone's sitting in droves. And I was having one of those moments again. Every single person here is gonna die in the next 60 years or so.
This is just...
No, this is just like, yo, you're realizing mortality.
Yeah.
It's like, you're gonna die.
Yeah, bro.
What are you gonna do with the time you got left? It's like, yo. So I started having a panic attack. And I started having this panic attack, and I texted my boy, and he said to me, just one of the things that was the most like calming thing to me, he said, man, if we didn't have death, we wouldn't know how precious each breath was. Like, death is the reminder that the moment that we have right now is so good.
Yeah.
And that it's so valuable, but we take it for granted. So like, if you know it's coming, like this moment right now means literally the world. And so what are you gonna do with it? You know, so I feel like I'm getting into the deep end, but those were things that really brought me into all these thoughts, into these feelings that I wanted to communicate in the record.
Going on without me time. You just keep going